Good morning, everyone. Little bit late. Well, that's pretty good for like the last day of Mercury retrograde. And yes, I look tired. I have not been sleeping that well. So I'm going to do what I normally do, which is just to let it rip. Hi, good morning. Thanks for the thumbs up. Hi, Nicole. If somebody could let me know if the visual and the sound is good, because, Mercury retrograde, Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. Hi. So if I'm assuming you guys can hear me, so I'm just going to let it rip. Gosh, you guys, thank you for that, Nicole. I'm going to give people a minute hi, Jennifer, to show up while I have a little more of this Cosmic Coffee Talk. Hey, buddies. Oh, my goodness. Everybody's showing up. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, you got to do the bling for Leo season, right? You got to do bling. It's very important. Aren't these cute? Yeah, the new little moons. I just got those. Okay. Good morning. Hey, thanks for showing up, everybody. I really appreciate it. For people that are new to live video at Facebook, if you don't catch it live, the replay will be available. Another thing that I do is, hi, Joel, is eventually I will have my wonderful webmaster convert this, hi, Danielle, and put this on YouTube. So then everybody, if you're on YouTube, you can watch it over there, okay? Wow, Pam Youngins, oh my goodness. Okay, I'll try not to feel pressured now that Pam Youngins is on this feed. Wow, I'm really honored. Thank you so much, Pam. Wow, I really admire your work. So, thank you. Okay, so let's get into it. What's happening right now? Oh, thanks, Serendipity. I like these too. They're fun. What's going on right now? A lot of stuff's going on right now, right? We're in Lionsgate. Lionsgate is officially on it started on July 26th. The energy is going to peak on the 8/8, and I have an activation every year on the 8/8, and I'll be sharing some information about that if you want to get in on that. That's at Bright Star Activations. And then it will be present until the 11th. And the period of the Syrian influence is longer this year. And there was a couple of great messages that came through on Friday, and they're at Cosmic Love and Wisdom. Hi, Melanie. If you want to see those. This time of year, I get a lot of stuff because I do have a connection with them. So there's usually a lot that comes through. So that, if you guys want to check that out, that's over there at Cosmic Love and Wisdom. And I've also shared some of that on this page, on my personal page. We have a beautiful, powerful new moon coming in tomorrow. Interestingly, the new moon and Mercury direct are like within a half hour of each other. Okay, so we're talking a little bit more than a half hour. 8:12 p.m. Pacific time and 8:58 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So today's a little loopy of a day. I like to be offline on new moon. I have a lot of crystals to charge and things like that, which is part of the reason I'm doing this today. Thanks everybody for showing up. I really appreciate it. Penny's over here with her little stick. I've distracted her. Hopefully I won't have to get up and deal with critters, but if I do, I'll let y'all know. Okay. Wow, I'm amazed at everybody that's taken time out of your day to show up. Hi, thanks so much. Irma K. Sawyer, Bright Star, Cosmic Weather. Probably should have mentioned that. Yeah, I'm just going to let it roll like I do. Just going to let it rip. So I was talking about, we are on the last day. Aw, thanks for all the loves. I love those. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for the encouragement, you guys. I love you. So we're on the last day of this Mercury retrograde, which for me was not great. I have a mail order business, so I'm just going to say that, right? I sell crystals, as you guys know. A little challenging. I learned to get I'm taking a lot of extra steps with mailing stuff, and it's helped, so far. So that's what we're doing about that. So that's just kind of a good thing to do anyway. And Mercury retrograde is maybe if there's an extra step you can take to maybe avert some drama or crisis, or in my case, USPS losing things, then I suggest you take it. Okay. I've been doing these oracle readings with the either the Kuan Yin cards or the Crystal Oracle, and I like cards for me personally. I don't really use them in my readings for other people. They're just kind of like a fun thing that I've been playing with for a long time. But I've been doing these readings for the new and full moon, and in my opinion, they've been quite accurate. The one for new moon I'm going to post. I'll post it later today or tomorrow, okay? And that will be here, and then I'll share that also at Cosmic Weather. Waiting to the first to send forth thanks. Absolutely. Ooh, lost everything on your phone. I'm sorry. That sucks. Oh, thanks, Pam. I like your style too. I like I said, I'm really honored that you're here. I really admire your work. So have a great day. And yes, the replay will be up. Okay. So what else do we have? I have notes, but I just kind of let it rip, especially when I'm going on like not very much sleep like I am right now. Download Central. I'm going to get in to kind of the heart and soul of what Lionsgate's about in just a minute, okay? Because I know y'all want to hear about that. So we talked about Mercury direct. We talked about new moon. Let's talk about that. Beautiful, beautiful new moon. So we're going to have sun, the moon, which is 2.5 days, and then we have Venus and Mars. So we're going to have a stellium in Leo. Okay, and that's going to be tomorrow. So that would be probably, so it starts Wednesday night. So that would be through Friday. That's a huge constellation of Leo energy. So let's talk about what that's about. Leo energy, of course, is, we always think of Leo as being on stage. It's the performer, right? It can be the show off. So that's why I always wear the bling. Leo likes bling. That's a good way to honor that energy, is to, dress up a little bit. Get your bling earrings on, or, get the glitter out, or whatever it is, because that is great for Leo. It also is the 5th house, which is children, and that's also your inner child. So, hey, if your inner child wants ice cream or to go to the water park or the beach or whatever, these are all really wonderful, nourishing things we can do in a Leo new moon. Another thing, too, is Venus in Leo. Venus is what we value. It's also our love. Venus in Leo has to do with self-love. This is very much tying in to what Lionsgate is all about. I had a post this morning, and this is why I was up all in the night getting this information. Sovereignty, which is what the Lionsgate's about, is about dumping falsehoods. And one of the big falsehoods that we're dumping is false beliefs about ourselves, right? This is very deep, and there's a lot of levels and layers to this. Okay, so first of all, congratulations for surviving eclipse season in a retrograde in July. We're almost through it. Yay! By the time we get to August 1st, in just a few days, we'll be in a very different energy. It'll be a lot brighter. There'll be a lot more energy. I know people have been saying, God, I'm just dragging my butt, and I'm so tired. And it's very inward. Self-loathing is triggered all of a sudden. Whatever, it could be. Whatever these, right now we're in a Cancer moon too. So, we're still kind of dealing with the tail end of that Cancerian energy that we had in Cancer season. That's kind of coming back again. So I think that's part of that. But I also think that this is just, what is it? You can't heal it if you don't feel it. I think these things are showing up for a reason. Yay. I know. Hi, Haley. Thanks, everybody, for coming. So what else? Okay. So, yeah, this new moon, beautiful new moon. I'm going to post the oracle reading, which goes into some more depth about it. I'm kind of let that do the talking. I'm not writing a report right now on the new moon. I'm doing this. Hi, Emily. Oh, you guys, I'm so happy that you're all here today. Thank you for the support. That makes me feel great. Love you all. So, again, 5th house. Leo is 5th house. It's creativity. It's the sun card in the tarot. It's the 2 children dancing, holding hands in the sun. It's carefree. It's beautiful. I'm going to go back and look at some of these comments here in a minute. Hi. So what I am going to do is I will go through my notes. And again, tired. Just going to let it rip. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night. There's a lot going on the astral. I probably don't have to tell you. And I'm going to get another sip of my iced coffee. Cheers. Cosmic Coffee Talk. Okay, moving on. So, what's Lionsgate about? It's about a focus on sovereignty. It's about empowerment. It's about unhooking from collective drama. This time around, it's about healing PTSD, individual and collective PTSD. It's all about being your own leader, right? And it's interesting. It's about, I have to just comment because I think this is kind of a generational thing. I know, so much processing. I really think we're going to get a break on that in August, and that's going to be much needed. The thing about the guru, there's the kind of, gurus have gotten a bad rap. I've talked about this before. I think it's important to address because the Satguru, of course, is in here. The Satguru lives inside us. So everybody else on a certain level might be a cheap imitation, according, that's one person's interpretation. As you guys know, I had a spiritual teacher for 9 years. This is why I'm able to even sit here and talk to you today and be able to do what I do. I was deeply dysfunctional based on where I came from. And, this has a lot to do with being a starseed and an empath and a light worker. I know you guys can relate to this. This has been my life's work, to write some books about it, to support and encourage other people. A lot of us, it's a kind of a deep, mysterious thing, but we came here to experience and transmute a lot of this garbage, and it's been difficult. It's been very difficult, for sure. I mean, I've talked to, I don't even know how many light workers I've talked to in my career. This is my 25th year doing this work. I started when I was 12. So I've been doing this for a while, and it's rough. So this is really another part. Thank you for liking my book, for finding my books helpful. I really appreciate that. One of the things that we're here to do, another thing about Lionsgate, is really honoring your own divinity, your own kingness, and the RK Star Posse, you're so sweet. Your own queenness and kingdom, your own inner royalty, your own inner divinity. And we're talking about doing this not in an arrogant way, not in a haughty way or an egoic way. We're talking about doing this from a higher perspective, looking down and going, wow, I survived all that shit. Like, how much do I rock? How much do we rock for doing this? So I like to encourage people to, another thing about busting out the bling and maybe adorning yourself a little bit, it's really part of self-love. It's really part of honoring yourself and your path and how far that you really have come. Because Cancer is deep psychology. When you let's throw in 2 eclipses and some retrogrades, an eclipse center, eclipse season, very, very deep dive, like I knew it would be. For some people, had a very, very rough go. That's another thing I'd like to take a moment. I've gotten a lot of messages. No, you're not going crazy. I encourage people to watch when I go live because I do kind of elucidate what's going on with this energy. A lot of this stuff is coming up and out very quickly. You don't always have to think about it or label it. This is something I learned from my teacher that was very helpful. I have all that Virgo, so I'm like, what's it all mean? I have to explain it all. You don't have to. You don't have to. Sometimes it's a visceral feeling, and all you have to do is acknowledge it and breathe it out, and that's it. I'm a believer that the omniverse, in its wisdom, will give you the information that you need on your path. Again, I have quite a bit of experience with this, not only in my own life and working with other people, okay? So this is where trust comes in. And is it easy? No. But if it was, then you wouldn't be here doing it, right? So again, namaste, honoring all of you as the amazing, infinite, multidimensional creators that you are. Okay, so anyway, back to this. The thing about gurus is, they get a bad rap. There's people that get a certain level spiritually, and then they get drunk off the power. They get drunk off the sexuality. They get drunk off the money or whatever it is. It's a huge temptation and a distraction. Yes, sometimes you just grunt. Absolutely, just grunt and keep moving through it. Right on, sister. So my thing about any kind of teacher is to just use your discernment, listen to your own intuition about it. I feel that there's some very worthy guides out there, and I think that we can't let some unfortunate souls that have lost their way they're not tainting the whole thing, right? There's a couple bad apples, dumb analogy, but it's true. There's still some very good guides and teachers out there, and there's times in our path when we need one. I've had them. I've served in that role for other people. But that's the thing about Leo, going from Cancer to Leo, that's very interesting, because Leo loves to be its own sovereign and all of that. And that is the goal, because, right, when we're divine and we're whole, we've got everything we need. But, that even the king has an advisor, or the queen has an advisor, because sometimes you need, as I put it, you need another pair of eyes on it, okay? So let's kind of keep open to that, because the goal obviously is to be, it's interesting. It's kind of a paradox, because the goal is to be within yourself 100% whole and complete. But again, we still are human. We still get perplexed. I still go, hey, what do you think about this? That's what we're here to do, right? Is to, walk each other home, as Ram Dass would say. Okay. So I'm not going to share those exact quotes. There are cosmic love and wisdom. Some messages came through from the Sirians that I think were quite good. Hopefully you can relate to that. The interesting thing too is what's coming up is when you realize, let's talk a little bit about this false identity. There's so many levels and layers of it as we release these illusions. This illusion of separation. I have a great quote by Einstein, of all people, on my wall about that. Einstein, who really was a great mystic, at heart, with the Pisces sun and the Pisces midheaven. So when you realize that our parents, our teachers, our peers, people we grew up with, that everybody's operating under this illusion of not knowing who they are. We were there too. We're really blessed. I think my teacher used to say, if you even have heard of the Dharma, you are so blessed. It's unbelievable. Think about how many billions of people on the planet. There's so many millions, probably millions and millions of people that have not heard the teaching, that have not heard the Dharma. So you have. So you got that going for you, like Bill Murray would say. And that's nice, right? I mean, we have that going for us. So, but when you think about that, these people in our lives, they didn't have the teachings, a great majority of them. I know my parents didn't. I know their parents didn't. My grandfather was one of 12 children. They didn't have shoes. They lived in poverty. No wonder he was pissed off. He was angry, my grandfather. I can understand. Their life was difficult. It was filled with a lot of suffering, and it was difficult. So I think that's part of where this transition of coming out of this very deep place, being in eclipse season. That's kind of a tongue twister. And, bringing all of that knowledge and what we gained through that. And again, we're going to be our own beneficent ruler. What does that mean? That means having compassion. Not everyone has had the benefits and the blessings that we have had. Hey, Lunar Lady, Priestess is with you here today. Hi, Shannon. I love you guys all too. I don't really want to. I can't comment, to everybody's, because I'll lose my train of thought, because I am operating on not very much sleep. But thank you so much for being here today. So let me go back to what I was saying. And again, I just kind of open it up and let it rip. I have some notes. This is, kind of said, hey, folks, what do talk to my guidance team. What would you like me to share today about these energies? So again, another important, I'm glad they're reminding me of this. This is another thing. Leo loves drama, right? It loves actually like drama class. It's the play, it's the actor, right? So that's all fun. That's all fun. We can be in the play, right? The cosmic play of Maya. We're all actors, right? What is it? Shakespeare. Life is a play. We're merely players in the play of life, right? That's all what we are. We're just playing our role. That being said, I know I don't have to tell you that every day in the news and in the media, it's negativity, it's a distraction, it is so much bullshit. It's unbelievable. The news cycle has never been as crazy and negative as it's been since 2016. I myself have had some issues with this. I've shared this with you guys before. So this is saying people are wanting to be in my video. Okay, I'm not. I think maybe they're hitting that by mistake. So I'm not going to be adding people today. what are we doing? We're going to be in the observer, like our brother Eckhart Tolle and other great teachers have said. We're going to be in the observer. We're going to be, kind of objectively walking. Hey, Julie, objectively watching this drama unfold, because there's going to be more. And there tends to be more drama in Leo season because it's Leo season, right? That's like peanut butter and chocolate, So that's another thing, is we're going to just be sitting in our empowered place. We're going to be thinking about everything that we learned in Cancer season, which was a hell of a lot. Right? It was a lot. And I knew it was going to be, just looking at the energy. But again, you don't even have to be psychic to look at eclipse season with Mercury retrograde and know that it's going to be a deep dive, as I like to call it. Okay. So kind of the Cliff Notes version, we're here in Leo season to be beneficent rulers. We're here to be loving to others and ourselves. It all starts with ourselves, right? If you can't be loving to yourself, how can you be loving to other people? So it's really, Venus in Leo is about love. It's about self-love. So this moon is going to be supercharged, baby. You're going to love my song. I'm not going to give it away. I'll just play it. I'll give you a little hint. I'm going to play the 8-minute version, because that's the way to hear this song. That's what I'll say. And also with headphones. Headphones in the 8-minute version, okay? Yeah, I'll play that tomorrow. And it's interesting because, as you guys know, I took some time off last week, and I was doing some appointments, and, I just kind of had a staycation, but it was good. I got some things done, and somehow this song just came in that I'm going to play tomorrow, and you'll laugh, and you'll see that's very fitting. But it just really got me thinking that it really is about this deep expansiveness. As my teacher I shared a video from my teacher, James, in, I know, right? Extended version, no radio edit, absolutely. I shared a teaching that James, my teacher, gave at Bright Star Emporium. And I didn't share it here because I didn't really want to put that out to the public. For people in the Emporium, that's in there. But I want to just see if I can remember the quote that he got from Nityananda. It was about entering the abode of the heart, about going there. It's infinite, right? You put your toe in, it goes on forever. So that's the beautiful, beautiful part of Leo energy, is it rules the heart and it rules the high heart, okay? This, from what I got from the Keepers, is a very high-level cosmic communication center in the entire being, is the upper heart chakra. For people that are doing chakra work, healing work, I know there's a lot of people on here that are doing that type of work. That's the area, okay? It's the chest, center of the chest, so it's the regular physical heart, and then it's the upper heart chakra, which is in between the heart and the throat chakra. Okay, we're good? All right, let me see what else. What else? I think that's kind of what I wanted to tell you. Another interesting thing, just really quick. Looking ahead, on 8/11, Uranus is going to go retrograde. And it's interesting, it goes direct on my birthday. It's a lot of 11s. It goes retrograde on 8/11, and it goes direct on 1/11 in 2020, which is my birthday, which is so cool. What does that mean? Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. It has to do with change. It rules technology. This is the interesting thing. Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus, which is I did a whole teaching on this in my private group, but I'll give you guys the Cliff Notes version of it here. Those energies don't necessarily get along well. Uranus goes very fast. Taurus likes to be methodical and go slow and take its time. And it's all about peace and harmony. It's an earth sign, right? It's all about building something. It's the builder. So those energies are kind of like, it's kind of hard to hold them in consciousness even at the same time. So, we've got that going. So what this means, though, Taurus rules the second house. This is another thing I'm being guided. Yes, it does. Uranus goes retrograde the same day Jupiter goes direct. I'm going to do a little post on Jupiter direct because that's a whole other thing. But yes, it does. Thank you. what was I going to say? Oh, I'm being guided to share because I have a big community. I'm out there seeing what's going on with people. There's a lot of people whose physical reality is being very challenged. We were talking whether it's earthquakes, whether people get laid off from their job, everything in between. The second house is your physical reality. This includes the home in which you live. So there's been a lot of shakeups with this. And hi, Brenda. This is what you get, what you will have when you have Uranus affecting the second house or affecting Taurus. It's going to affect where people live. You know what else it's going to affect? Where we all live on the planet, on Gaia. Okay, what do we have? Like 40 earthquakes in 1 week out here? That's just one example. Okay. And also stay safe in Maui right now. Stay safe in Florida. It's like I do weather work, as you guys know. It's constant. The earth change stuff is just constant. So, hey, thanks for being here today. So, what does this mean? When a planet is retrograde, it goes more inward. So, this is the tune. You guys can I'll go play this for people that like rock and roll. I was thinking the tune for Uranus retrograde is Counter Revolution by the Delta Rigs. They're a fun band. They're from Australia. Go play it. And they're cute as heck, too. These guys are cute. So, and they dress well. So, hi. So go and play when Uranus goes retrograde on 8/11. Maybe I'll play it. That's the tune, Counter Revolution. Because what it is there's a revolution out here, everything's changing, but when you've got it retrograde, you've got your own revolution. It's a personal revolution. Okay, so we've got that going on. Another thing too, second house rules earned income. This means that people's way of earning income is going to change. The whole thing about side hustle, another job. Oh, I'm good at this. It can make money. I love seeing people get turned on to that. Like, oh, I make jewelry or I make jam or, whatever it is. And then get money for it. And there's a joy to that. And there's a pride. And that's really cool. So we're going to see more of that. We're going to see more creativity because Taurus is incredibly artistic. It's ruled by Venus. So creative ways to survive, to make money. Hi, Joyce. Wow, all the fun people are here today. This is great. So that's what we're looking at. We're still under that influence of Uranus and Taurus, but on 8/11, it's going to turn retrograde, which will make the energy more inward. Okay, everybody clear about that? And then it goes direct, like I said, on 1/11/20. So I'm going to open it up right now. I'm going to take a little sip of my iced coffee. It's very hot at the Bright Star house. I've got all the fans going, but it's warm. So, Q&A. Let it rip. Let's hear what you got to say. Anybody? I'm here. So while you're doing that, let me see if there's anything else I need to share with you. Come on, guys. Don't be shy. I usually don't have time for Q&A, and I do today. So, let me know what's on your mind, okay? Another thing I will say, while you guys are getting some questions together, another thing I got about Uranus retrograde, what about Leo rising? That's the same thing. If it's a personal planet, it's the same. Do you mean like how does this affect you if it's a Leo rising? Everybody has Leo somewhere in their charts on their house cusp. For me, my midheaven is Leo, so this is why I tend to be more public. Okay, look, everybody's answering. Okay. Okay, I'll take one at a time. Leo rising is just like having sun and moon in Leo. So this means this is part of a personal planet, so you will be feeling it more directly. As far as Carla's question about physical stuff, that is a very complex question. I would have to put on my psychic hat and look at that and see why you're experiencing that and what's going on with that. Physical ailments and disease processes and all that stuff are definitely not cookie cutter. So, it's, not to be disappointing, but I really would have to look at that a little bit more directly and more personally. Okay. But what I can say is, I'm not surprised that eclipse season is major. It brings past influences. Thank you. brings past influences into the present. So if you had an issue, like I had some stuff come up earlier this month. I keep thinking it's August because I want it to be. It's not August yet. Earlier this month, I had some stuff come up, and it was old stuff, but it was like a new perspective on the old stuff, the old physical stuff. Okay, so I can say with what you have going on, Carla, this is not something that just was created in a day. This is obviously something that you've been dealing with for a while, and maybe it was dormant, and then it decided to, rear its ugly head, so to speak. So, yeah, I mean, what I will tell you based on what I'm getting right now is I feel like part of it has to do with wear and tear. It has to do with physical work. I feel it was exacerbated by physical work, but there obviously is something else on that. It's sometimes, okay, let me see. Okay, I feel, okay. Okay. Let me read this again. Let me sit with this for a minute. Well, it's kind of hard for me to do personal readings on this, just because I wrote a post where I, like, when people write me and they're like, do you have messages for me? It's like, I don't really, I have to focus it, because if I had the channels on all the time, it's overwhelming, because I pick up on a lot of stuff. I've also had to change how I read the collective, because there's a ton of stuff going on in the collective all the time. What can you do? Okay, is there any peace or clarity coming up for this? Yeah, there's peace and clarity, and it's in you. I know people don't want to hear that, but this place, the abode of the heart, like my teacher was saying. No, I'm still answering your question, Danielle. Go there. Like my teacher used to say, the abode of the heart, go there. That's where the peace is for everybody. There's incredible Amrita. There's incredible nectar and blessing in the heart chakra. If we just go there, we just get unplugged. That's another thing, everybody. Keep doing your meditation. I know it's life is very distracting and there's a lot going on. That's the best way you can protect your energy with all of this, batshit crazy going on, is don't neglect your practice, whatever that is. And I know that it's counterintuitive. When things get all nuts and busy, we tend to not do our practice. This is like me with an apothecary. Good example. I have an apothecary of flower essences in there that I don't even know what it's worth. I've collected it over 25 years. You can imagine it. It's pretty impressive. When I go through stuff and oh, you're welcome. Good, I'm glad. When I go through stuff and I need my flower essences, am I in there taking them? No. It's been a couple of times for my essence buddies to go, hey, IK, are you taking your stuff? And it's like, duh. So that's the thing. Venus in Leo, and we also have Mars in Leo. So this is about self-care also. Cancer season is about self-care also in a different way. But this is about how can I, get back to my empowerment, to my feeling of being heart-centered, because Leo is very heart-centered. Hi, Juanita. So, what do we need? Do we need our herbs? Do we need our flower essences? Do we need to go to take a day off? Do we need to... I love you too, Shannon. Thank you. Because think about it. It's 5th house, too. Clematis flower has been my jam. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you know what is your jam and what works for you. That's really, really important. And we tend to forget that. We just get pulled out into everything, I love you so much, too. Thank you. I hope that helps. Good. I think, like I said, I think being heart-centered is just where it's at. I mean, that's where it's at all the time. Oh, this is another thing I'm remembering, but I want to look at this. Hold on. Beautiful. Jennifer's talking about that she's feeling less grief, even though there's grief, and it's more about acceptance. I'm exactly in the same place about some stuff, sister. And that's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. It feels so great to be able to go, okay, that grief is still there. That was a shitty situation or whatever it was. It's unfortunate that I had to go through that, whatever. But to be able to, I wrote about this on somebody's wall this morning, and it was about choosing to think about my childhood in a different way. And it was a bummer that I went through that, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But I was determined, like you, Jennifer. I really admire you and your work. Keep it up, baby. It is liberating. That was another reason why I'm like, why are we doing this? And then it was like I started getting with other light workers and empathic people. We had a lot of similar things. Like this really informed my own path. And for me, it was about the development of compassion for myself and other people. I mean, I'm a Capricorn with an Aries moon and a Virgo stellium. I didn't have a ton of compassion when I was younger. I admit it, I didn't. I'd like to think that I do now. And I think a lot of it is because I had to exhibit that towards myself. And in my practice, then, of course, it extended out to other people. I love that Ram Dass quote about, I'd like my life to be about compassion and service, and where it's not, that's where my work is. That's exactly it. We can use that to look at the places that we're stuck, that we're angry, that we're holding, that we're shut down, okay? I want to go back up here. Okay, please don't feel discouraged. Anybody that's defining myself by trauma. I define myself by trauma for decades. And I know when you're in that, one day in that is too much. And so I understand that. But I also know that it really is a work in progress, and patience really is required. I mean, this is the long haul, right? And also that's another thing. People that are earth signs on this thread, good for you. And also water too. You have the compunction to work through the emotion, and also to have the patience, because it takes patience. It just does. I mean, that's what the 90s was. I called it the spiritual supermarket. Like, go to this workshop and it's all going to be fine. Well, we all know that came out of spiritual bypassing. I mean, that's bullshit. It doesn't work. You can really play a lot of games with yourself and with other people when you're not owning what's really going on. And I think, and then I saw the pendulum go the other way, which was beautiful, to just let people sit with whatever they need to sit with. And I've talked a lot about, this is what holding space is. Holding space is so powerful. If you can do that for yourself, a lot of us are really good at doing it for other people and not for ourselves. That's how I was. If you can do that for yourself, that is the most powerful practice. It's mind-blowing what that can do. And I know people here know what I'm talking about with that. It is. Compassion is huge. And Leslie, you're right. Sometimes we have to choose again. You know what's great? Every moment we can choose again. We can choose again all the time. Where is the past? It's in here. It's not real. And that's the thing, is I know it feels, until we get it, work it out though, because it lives in here. Like Carolyn May said, your biology can become your biography. That is, if you don't clear it, if you don't work it out. And again, like I said, I'm not the queen of the quick fix. I did some very intense, difficult work for 9 years. And it was harrowing in places. But that's what I had to do. To get free. I was 110% committed to it. I didn't have children this life. I made some choices because the buck was going to stop with me. Not only that, but then I was going to share and teach what I had learned. That obviously is my path, and I know that's not everybody's path. Yep. Hold on to your little girl. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Jennifer. As I've said before, I really respect your path and pathway and everything that you've gone through and I love that you share it, because that takes courage. That's another thing. Yeah, I know all about shooting the messenger. Yeah, I'm over it. Also, people don't really try that anymore with me. I think that's like, I have that in my energy, like the don't F with IK in that area, and people kind of don't, but it took me a while to get there. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I learned from all of you too. I really, really value this community so much. And what time are we at? Okay, hold on. Okay, let's take a minute to do, okay, hold on. I'm reading this. The work is hard, and it is worth it. Mwah, absolutely. So I'm going to go back to Serendipity's question. That's a good question. How do you know that you're working through something? Absolutely. It has less of a charge on it. And that's a thing that takes kind of, that takes some of, what do you call it? Experience. That just takes experience. You have to be able to compare it to something, right? So I think that's one of those, and it's also very visceral. It is. It's really visceral. I think that's one of the great things about this season right now is that we are, it really is making us all be so much more present. You can't just head trip your way through this, right? You just can't. And I mean, I don't have any air in my chart, so that's not a temptation for me. But if I did, I could really see, like, let's just go and get very detached and, like, look down. You know what I mean? I could see that would be easier in some ways. But I think the proof in the pudding, to answer your question, is that you just have to go, well, how did I feel before when that happened? It's about triggers. How are we being triggered? Are we being triggered less? And then the thing, too, is, right, triggers, what's the guru? A trigger is the guru. Like, let's be honest. I mean, yeah. And do I still have them? You're damn right I still have them. Do they, control my life in the same way? No, they don't. And that's a beautiful thing. But that doesn't mean I don't have them. I'm just a lot more aware of them. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you love my posts. Gemini Sun, Earth Dominant. Well, the great thing about Gemini energy is it's good for seeing all of the perspectives. It's the opposite of Sagittarius, which can be dogmatic and be like my way or the highway. That's the beautiful part of Gemini is like, hey, there's this thing that I didn't see before. And that can be very handy. Yeah. Hello, Adriana. Absolutely, triggers are the guru. They are. I mean, that just kind of came through, but I think it's really true. It really is because that's what a real guru does do. My teacher, I've told you that it's a signal to focus on something. I think I shared with you that, my teacher wasn't always completely using skillful means, as they say in Buddhist lingo, but some of it I thought was tough love at a level that I wouldn't do, but that's okay. It also taught me a lot about how to work with other people and what works and what doesn't work. But I remember, he used to really get up in my face. I mean, I'll share the story again because I think not everybody's heard it. I went from, this is ego in a nutshell. You go see the teacher, right? I'm trying to think of who it was, Guru Mai. I was going to a lot of teachers back then. So I would go from sitting in the very back of the hall and not wanting anyone to see me. Hi, Lisa. That was one place I was at, is like sit in the very back, be really quiet, don't want anybody to see me, feeling very small, feeling very insignificant. And then there was a thing where I was in the front row, and not so much like, oh, well, I'm so bitchin', I get to be in the front row. It was like, I need to be in the front row. I need to get every word. Hanging on every word. And also, yeah, there might have been a little bit of entitlement. I admit it. There might have been some. But then I think I said when I knew I kind of was getting a little bit more of a balanced view, is I would show up and wherever there was an open seat, I would take it. I think that's a really, really good analogy. And I remember I told my teacher and he was like, wow. And I'm like, I know that it's really true because that's what our ego will do. The flip side of being nothing is to be everything, but not in a cool cosmic way, because you are everything. But to be into like a Stuart Small, like, look what I can do, right? See, that's the shadow of Leo that we want to avoid. The shadow of Leo, I think it gets a bad rap. All signs have a shadow that are unpleasant. Let's be honest. I mean, the shadow of my sign, Capricorn, like Richard Nixon, hello. Paranoid, stingy, there's every sign has these energies to be avoided. But I think since we're in Leo season, I want to go back to what I was getting from the Keepers and the Syrians. Their guidance to us was that this window this year is so freaking powerful. I know I probably don't have to tell you guys. The minute it opened, I was like getting Oh, thank you. I was getting all this stuff. It was just coming through. And a lot of it's been coming in the dream time, it's been coming in the astral. But how do we make use of this really powerful window that we're in? Is we stay out of the drama, participate in fun drama like the performance, like go to a play, go see a film that you like. That's Leo, or or go see me, I love going to see the rock show. Go to a rock show or whatever type of music you like. This is very nourishing Leo energy, is to be part of the performance, the creativity of it. As far as the icky, gossipy drama, like that kind of drama, let's avoid that. Another thing to remember is this is a thing that it's going to hit some people's egos sideways. I already know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You are the leading edge. You are. That's why you're watching this, and that's why you're here. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bitchin' or better about yourself. It's just a fact. So we have a responsibility. And what is that responsibility? That we're going to hold the vibe. What do I say? Vibes up, buttercups. Right? We're going to hold the vibe for people that maybe can't do it right now, that are maybe unwilling to do it right now for whatever reason, that are struggling right now. We've all been there. Okay, let me finish my thought and I'll go back to this. First of all, what I will say to you, my friend, is that wherever you are is okay. It's perfect. And I know that's hard for mine to hear that and go, oh, I should be somewhere else. But reading this, you have the word should. I should be doing this. And again, this is meant in nothing but the greatest love for you. I've certainly been there. Better out than, when it comes to crying, better out than in, like Hagrid would say. Okay, I can talk to you more about this privately too. You are bitching, serendipity. Why not? And again, this doesn't mean, to lord it over people or to be better than other people. This is what it means to be empowered, to know your worth. This is what Leo is about, is to know that you're a divine being of source. That's to know that. To know that you're an infinite, multidimensional being of love and light. Do you have days that you feel like shit? Do you have days that you're mad and you hate people and all these? That's all part of it. It's all part of it. But the key is to get right back in the groove. How do you do that? Meditation. And also who you're surrounded with in this portal is very, very important. Negative Nellies need not apply. Hello, there's the door. Attitude adjustment. It's okay. That's all right. What if the golden opportunity is to allow your emotions? That's absolutely right. And yes, I love Matt Kahn. I am a being of unlimited value. Amen. You are. We all are. And see, that's the thing. I know all about feeling like a POS. I know all about sitting in the back of the hall because I felt that unworthy. Okay? I understand that. It makes me emotional to even talk about it. Because I was in that much pain. I should say this, I was in this much illusion because it's an illusion, okay? But when you're in it, it's completely real. So I'm not going to be a bypasser and go, it's an illusion. It is, but that doesn't help you when you're in the teeth of it. How do you get out of it? The first thing, you have to be there completely and just be there fully. That's the beauty of the one beautiful thing about this life, right? It is impermanence. It's good and bad. That means that the beautiful things don't last either. And that sucks because we want to hold on to that. But on the other side of that, the negative and the difficult things don't last either. And that, for me, some days, that was all I had. That was all I had. And all I can say is that this is why I want to be such an encourager of other people, because I didn't have that. And I did a lot. See, that's Aries moon, though. I have an Aries moon. I did a lot of this myself, and it was very difficult. I can see that now why my soul chose that on a certain level. I could see why. But I think it makes me kind of uniquely qualified to do this now, Well, I could say that as far as being the same old crap, we're not out of Mercury retrograde yet, and we're not in this new moon. You have to understand, you're in the dark of the moon, and it's Cancer, okay? You're in a Cancer dark moon. Please don't, anybody that's emotional today, please don't judge it. You're in a Cancer dark moon, and the last day of Mercury retrograde. So let's just kind of sit with that for a moment. Okay, I hope that helps. Thank you so much. Staying with emotion and learning to process it in alignment with your own rhythm is alchemy. That's absolutely alchemy. And see, somebody like Jennifer, who's a Scorpio, I'm sorry I'm going to call you out just because I love you so much. And I have a feeling you'll let me do this because you do share openly about your own path. But what I will say that you've done is that you have taken that poison and you have transmuted it and turned it into Amrita, into nectar, into bliss. That's what being an alchemist is all about. And that's not saying, oh, we're going to ignore it, or we're going to just like go to the workshop and, let me go get a latte in my yoga pants or whatever. That's, there's a whole strata of people that are doing that. And, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's true. You can't heal it if you don't feel it. Right? That's just it. So in a way, yeah, I love Scorpios too. It's my rising. I completely connect with them. So I could say really that if you're really in it and it's icky and it's sticky and it's suffering and it sucks, I know that. I get that. But at the same time, you got a couple things going for you. You're here to touch. Yeah, absolutely. We've got impermanence. We've got the fact that it's going to change because it always will. It will always change. The other thing we've got going is we've got the fact, talk about a trigger, talk about the guru. That's the thing. Your depression, your anxiety, this is everybody. Your hatred, anger, loathing, resentment, it's all the guru. Dig it. It all is. And what do they say? Can you create a space at your table for it? I think the example that comes to mind is I had a friend that couldn't stand where he was living. All he did was complain about it. I've told this story before, but it's very applicable. I knew the minute he accepted where he was and he quit complaining that something would open up, because I felt like he wasn't supposed to be there either. It wasn't the right place for him. But bitching about it was literally stopping the flow, right? And I'm not a big law of attraction person. I think there's flaws with it. But this is something about LOA that's absolutely true. If you keep bitching about something, you literally can block the good thing, the different thing that wants to come to you. So what do you have going if you set a place at your table for your anger, for your depression, and for your anxiety? You are not resisting it. That's it, right? I know this is nothing new. I know that all the teachers out there, the ones that I think are on the money, are saying the same thing. Hi, Sean. So just keep it in mind today. I knew that today was going to be, this is a lower energy day. It's dark of the moon. But like I said, I don't like to be online on new moon. I have crystals to charge, all that kind of stuff. So, couple of things. This is Max 2, or Mini Max. I got him when I met Max, the Crystal Skull, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before. I'm going to be doing an activation with him. When is it? This Saturday in Bright Star Emporium for Crystal Skull people. It's going to be off the hook, baby. Okay, it's going to be that. Okay, so what else? So we've got that coming up. I've got a mini Andorra sale coming up. Oh, 8/8. Doing Mini Max. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's what his name is. Max 2 or Mini Max. We got that coming up, and then we've got the 8/8. I have a group. It's called Bright Star Activations, where I do the activations. Oh, wow, Shannon. Yeah, I'm meeting Max a Crystal Skull. You guys read that. Three pages of notes. Sat down with him, and it was just like, boom. Because he was starting to, give me some stuff before I even met him. I had a feeling he and I were old friends, and we are. But it really felt like that, like a reintroduction, like, how you been? It was pretty cool. So anyway, my friends, I think I will let you go. We're at an hour today. Let me wrap it up by saying, love you guys. Thanks for taking time out of your day to be here. Thanks for all the great questions today. Yeah, I know, right? Mind blown with Max. What an unbelievable being. Wow. So much information, so much energy, so much compassion. Need to read more about the 8-8. I love you too, Jennifer. Thank you so much. You need to read more about Max. Yeah, that I could share that again too. I had a transmission. A bunch of stuff came through when I met Max, the Ancient Crystal Skull, and I wrote about it, and I could share that again. Adriana, anybody that I love you too, Danielle. Anybody that's interested in the 8-8, I'm doing an activation. It starts at 5:45 on 8 in Pacific time on 8/8. It's at Bright Star Activations. We'd love to have you. This is a kind of intermediate level. If you have any experience with meditation and energy work, we'd love to have you. Yeah, the Ancient Aliens video about the 13 crystal skulls was really cool. I thought that was too. When that came on the TV, I started like squealing. I'm like, it's on the TV. I was so excited. Oh, you rock too. Okay, I will share the Max information again. You're welcome. Thanks for being here, Laura and Bonnie. What else? So just got to do a couple plugs. Not everybody knows that I am the Crystal Mom. I have a group called Bright Star Emporium. I'm going to share that again. We sell activated crystal skulls, crystal pieces, Andara crystals. I have a really good contact of authentic Andaras from Northern California. Those tools are incredible. They're perfect for the time. So that's going on with that. Alrighty. And again, thank you for sharing, everybody, today and being here. Hold on, let me put this down. So what's the takeaway? What's the cliff notes on Lionsgate? Vibes up, Buttercup. Of course, we're gonna have our moments with things, but I know that's interesting, Sean. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something off the privately about that I got too about the 13 crystal skulls. We need to kind of just hold on to our divinity, to keep shining that light. Unfortunately, in high vibe periods, let's take a moment today. I haven't mentioned it, but yes, let's send love and light to Gilroy. Things in the collective can go a little sideways in these periods. I've been covering this energy for many years, and unfortunately, that's, I try to just stay open and loose and be with whatever's happening, but there's some very, very high energy hitting the planet now. Started on the 26th. It's going to be here through the 11th, okay? It has to do with this. This is a Sirian Stargate. Taking a little moment to talk about this is another timeline that is emerging, that is being created right now. So this means let's not spend energy and time criticizing the negative timeline on the planet. Yes, hi, Yoshi. Yes, it exists. Okay, we can be there with it, but we're here to co-create a new reality. Lionsgate is high-level creative energy. So that means, what are you creating in your own life? Another important thing to think about is we need to create things that are good. This is another thing I found. When you create something for yourself that benefits the collective, the omniverse is like, I'm going to get 1,000% behind that. Because we know that the omniverse has our back all the time, that supports our creations, right? But when we're creating with a bigger picture, like the Mahayanas talk about thinking bigger, when you think bigger, there's more support for your vision, okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. Love you guys. Namaste. Happy new moon. Bye-bye.